Hi, Simon Chapple here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach. As always, I want to make sure that you smash your sobriety. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please make sure that you subscribe. Just hit the little red button on the screen right now, and that will ensure that you get notified every time there's a new video. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. And if you need more help and more support when it comes to quitting drinking, check out my quit drinking program at joinbesober.com. So today I wanted to give you a formula, a strategy that will help ensure you stay sober after you've quit drinking. Now, I'm assuming that you might have read some books or you might have joined programs, watched videos, and you're already making progress on that journey to sobriety. But the strategy I'm going to share with you today is going to help ensure that you stay on track, that you don't have setbacks, that you don't fall back into those old patterns that were so destructive. I know from personal experience exactly what that's like. I was a heavy daily wine drinker for well over 20 years, drinking anything from 1 to 3 or more bottles every single day. And I know how hard it can feel at the start. So the strategy I'm going to share with you is worked for me and it's worked for other people. It's an excellent way of having some awesome guardrails in place that are going to keep you exactly where you want to be and make sure that you don't slip back into those old patterns of drinking. Now, it can be really common to experience discomfort, cravings, unsettled emotions, particularly in the first couple of weeks after we quit. And it's absolutely vital that you have tactics and tools that you can use when those feelings arise. And I'm going to share a few of those with you later in the video. But first, I want to give you a structure, something that you can use every day to ensure that you stay on track and achieving your goals. And I think that really is important to ensure that you've got this formula that's going to really help you maintain your sobriety and keep you happy, keep you focused, and ensure that you're moving forward and growing stronger on a daily basis. So let's start with that, and then I'll dive into some actual tactics that will help you when you're experiencing discomfort and when you're experiencing cravings. Now, you've probably heard me talk on other videos about the importance and the power of journaling. Journaling really is something special, but it can be difficult. It can be time consuming. And I wanted to create a way where we can still journal, we can get our thoughts and our feelings down without it feeling like it's taking a long time or it's difficult or it's imposing on our day. So what I would like you to do, and I'm only inviting you to do this, you might find that there's some parts of this video that you think, yep, that'll work perfectly for me, and other bits you don't want to do. That's absolutely fine. The best results will come if you take everything from this and you follow it exactly as I describe. But whatever works for you, you might be really pressed for time and you might find it difficult. So adapt it as you see fit, but ideally try and get all of these things into your day and keep it as a daily routine. And the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you've got a journal. It really is so important. I've talked before about the power of journaling, and I've offered some solutions for shortcuts. Instead of writing with pen and paper, maybe talking into a phone as a voice memo or using the notes on your phone, which is okay, but nothing beats the power of actually getting pen onto paper. And it is such an incredible thing to do. You get those thoughts out of your mind and they come down onto the paper, and it really does help release the negativity. So I would urge you to do that, even if you just take 5 minutes. And the structure, the routine that I would want someone to have if I was coaching them one-to-one to quit drinking would be that they journal first thing in the morning and they do the same again early evening, twice a day. Now, instead of writing pages and pages, I like to keep a structure to it. I like to keep it simple. And all I would invite you to do is write down 2 things. I would like you to start it by simply writing down your fears in that moment. Don't spend too much time thinking about it. Just write down whatever comes to mind. Just blurt it all out onto the paper. So you start it off with, I have fear. And it might be, I have fear that I won't stay sober. I have fear about a meeting at work later today. I'm really worried about it. I have fear about my health. It can be anything that you want. There's no right or wrong answers. Simply start with, I have fear, and then write down whatever comes up for you. After you've done your fears, which should only take a few moments, Write down your resentments. I have resentments for, and it could be people, it could be places, it could be situations, it could be companies or corporations. Write down whatever you have resentment for and why. And once you've written down your fears and your resentments, I want you to just close that section off. You don't need to write too much more in your journal. You can if you want. If you've had some victories or other things that have come up for you and you want to get those down, you can absolutely do that. But as a minimum, just get down your fears and your resentments. And once you've written that down, I want you to simply put a closing sentence at the end of it. And I want you to do this each day, twice a day, in the mornings, in the evenings. And you finish it off with a sentence that says, I hereby release my fears and my resentments, and I'm now ready to move into my day with calmness and clarity. And then sign it off. And it doesn't have to be that exact wording, but the point is you're acknowledging that you've got your fears and your resentments down, and you're going to state that you're now ready to release them and move on with your day. And in the evening, you might not say, I'm now ready to move on with my day. You just might say that you're now ready to release those fears and resentments. And just write down whatever comes up for you. Once you've done your fears and resentments, I want you to write down your intentions for the day. You only need to do this part in the morning, and this really is incredibly powerful. Please try it just for a week or 2 weeks and see the difference that it makes. So each morning, you've done your fears and resentments, write down your intentions. It could just be simple things like, I need to pick the kids up from school, or I need to attend a meeting at work, or your intention is not to dwell too much on sobriety. Or it might be that you're going to read a few more chapters of a book that you're going through at the moment. Whatever it is, write down your intentions for the day. Not only does it help you have a kind of to-do list for the day, it also gets everything out. It ensures you've got a structure. Things don't seem quite so overwhelming when you've got them down on paper. So have an intention list for the day. So it could be intentions around how you're going to be for the day, how your attitude and your outlook's going to be, alongside actual things that you genuinely need to do. You might need to go to the store. You might need to take the car to get serviced. Whatever it is, get those intentions down and do it every day. If you do one thing out of all of this, write down your intentions for the day and notice the difference that it makes to your sense of well-being, your sense of feeling organized, and your sense of moving into the day with a real feeling of positivity. So just to quickly recap on that first point, write down your fears and resentments in the morning and in the evening. Write down your intentions in the morning. Once you've done that, I want you then to meditate twice a day. And I want you to meditate using a mantra that really feels like you're in the now. So a mantra is simply something that we repeat over and over throughout the course of the meditation. Now, meditation, a bit like journaling, it does take time, but I'm sure you're serious about your sobriety. You want to ensure you stay on track. And this really is important. Imagine it as if a doctor has prescribed you 2 meditations a day instead of medication. It really does work incredibly well. It helps you stay calm, grounded. It allows you to move forward into the day with a sense of well-being and feeling really good about yourself. And it also allows you to gain some control over your mind when discomfort, racing thoughts and cravings come up. So don't underestimate the power of meditation. And again, you might just want to do this as an experiment and try it and see how it feels for you. So I want you to meditate once you've written down your fears and your resentments, ideally for 20 minutes. Just maybe find on YouTube a video that has some meditating music and lasts for 20 minutes, and then pick a mantra that allows you to feel in the now. So it could be the word present, or it could be the word now. That would be really simple, but whatever works for you. Simply find a comfortable position, close your eyes and begin to breathe in slowly through your nose and back out through your nose again. As you breathe in through your nose, say the mantra to yourself. So you would breathe in and you would say now. You can say it in your head or you can say it out loud. As you breathe out, say the word again, now. And then every time you breathe in and breathe out, say it again, now. now, and keep repeating it for the entire duration of the meditation. If thoughts start coming into your head, that's absolutely fine. Often when we start meditating, we do have lots of thoughts come up. Just allow them to pass and use your breath as an anchor to bring you back. Come back to the breath, come back to the mantra of saying now or present or whatever it is you're going to use as your mantra. Ideally, I'd like you to do this twice a day and notice the difference that it makes to your state of well-being and how good you feel about yourself. And if 20 minutes seems too long, do 10 minutes. And if you can't do 10 minutes, do 5 minutes. But please try not to do nothing, because this really does make a big difference. And I'm hoping that you've already got lots of tools and tactics, and you've already done lots of learning around how to quit drinking. And this structure gives you a way that you can move through your day, knowing that you've got those guardrails in place, that you've got tools that you can use to express yourself on paper, to calm your mind down, and to allow you to move forward with real positivity into that sober world. So that's a structure that I would want you to use every day. It's really, really simple. But of course, you're going to have discomfort coming up. You're probably going to have cravings in those first couple of weeks. And we can feel like we're on an emotional roller coaster. So it's important to have some tactics that you can use when those moments arise. And the first one I want to share with you is to just think about this rather like our brain has gone offline. So imagine your brain's a bit like a computer, and right now you're probably thinking rationally, you're online, you're fully connected, and everything's really good. But when those emotions come up and those cravings arise, it can feel like we've gone offline, we've lost our connection, we're just not connected any longer. And that's when we need to use these tactics. So notice when you've gone offline, and when that happens, that's when you need to turn to one of these tactics. The first one I would urge you to use, if you can sit in stillness with your eyes closed, it works really well, is to imagine having a dial on your stomach, or if you're feeling the emotion somewhere in your body, maybe in your heart or maybe even in your brain, imagine the dial there. So imagine a dial like you get on a cooker or on a microwave, and imagine it's got 1 to 10 on it, and see where your emotions are at that moment. If they're really strong, they might be 8 or 9 on the dial. And then visualize yourself dialing it down, turning the dial down from 8 or 9 to 2 or 3, and sit with that for as long as you need to, until you feel the emotions start to reduce as you turn the dial down. It does require a bit of visualization and a little bit of imagination, but the more you do it, the more you'll actually be able to dial down your emotions or dial down the strength of a craving or discomfort. And it works really well. So give that a try. If you, as I say, if you can do it with your eyes closed and sat in a quiet place, it does work incredibly well. So just dial it down, dial those feelings down. But again, if you're out and about, you can just visualize the dial in your mind and know that you've gone offline and you need to turn the dial. You need to twist the knob down and reduce it because it's too high and you want to get yourself back online again. Another awesome tactic that almost always works for getting rid of a difficult craving or uncomfortable emotions is vigorous exercise. And I would recommend vigorous exercise 20 to 30 minutes every day where possible. Now, running or even star jumps, anything that's going to really get your heart rate up is going to help. It could be swimming, it could be cycling, whatever works for you and whatever feels comfortable. But I also recommend another type of exercise, which is where you connect mind and body. So things like yoga, Pilates, anything like that. And there's loads of these videos on YouTube that you can do, is also going to be really beneficial. So don't just do that when discomfort arises. Try and get in the habit of doing that every day. You should put that down, if possible, as one of your daily intentions, that you intend to do it in that day, and then make sure that you do it. It's part of your to-do list, part of your routine, and it's a really healthy way of ensuring you get your heart rate up, you feel good about yourself. And you'll notice that if you feel some negativity before you start an exercise or before you start yoga, running, anything like that, right afterwards, it seems to have washed away. And that leads me to the next strategy. The next strategy is actually washing it away. When you feel discomfort or a strong craving, try this. Go and wash your hands. under warm water with some really nice soap. Wash it for maybe a minute or 2 minutes, or as long as you need to do. That sensation of the warm water on our hands is really soothing. Again, it connects our mind and body as we wash our hands and we notice the water, we focus on it, and we can feel that it subsides an uncomfortable feeling. And as the water cascades down your hands, notice that and use that as a visualization that it's actually washing away the discomfort. So try that. Again, it works really well. And you'll find that for some people, these tactics work brilliantly. For other people, some work great, some aren't so good. So try them on like pairs of shoes in a shoe shop, and you'll notice that some of them fit you really well and other ones aren't such a good fit. But unless you try them, and I'd urge you to try them before you have a craving. So test them out first to see what feels good. Unless you try them, you're never going to know which ones work for you and which ones actually allow you to gain control and to bring your brain back online again. Another great one for getting your brain back online again is anything that involves a left, right movement, because we've got the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. And a really simple tactic for doing that is stomping your feet. So if you're having an uncomfortable moment, a difficult craving, when you notice that you've gone offline, you're not with it, you're not your rational self, you're having a real reaction, then stomp your feet and shout out loud as you stomp your left foot down, your right foot down. Shout out loud, left, right, left, right. And that can be an excellent way of dispelling a craving or getting rid of uncomfortable emotions. That one works really, really well. And again, if you like doing star jumps or jumping jacks, as you call them in the US, as you do it, you might want to actually say up, down, or left, do one side exercises, left, right, to really connect left and right side of the brain with the body. Anything that involves that left, right motion, and you can say out loud, left, right, is going to really, really help you. So explore what you can do with that. But stomping your feet is so, so simple, and it works incredibly well as a strategy to get rid of any discomfort. Another excellent tactic that you can use to get rid of those feelings is a hug. Hugs are great. Hugs make us feel better. It's scientifically proven that receiving a hug from somebody makes us feel better. It makes us feel comforted. It makes us feel protected and loved. Now, you don't always have someone around who can hug you. In that instance, hug yourself. Hold yourself tightly and give yourself a hug. You might even want to back up against a wall and then hug yourself as tightly as you can, as tightly as you need, until you feel comforted. Or you might even want to hug a pillow. One of the members of my quit drinking program suggested that when we talked about this. Hugging a pillow can be another great way of feeling that connection and feeling that sense of comfort. So try that when any discomfort comes up. And again, I want you to try these things before you have the discomfort to find out what actually feels good for you and what you can turn to. And write them down in your journal. Write them down as the things that work for you. And you could also put it in your intentions. In your daily intentions, you could write, if I have a craving today, I'm going to give myself a hug. And that's what you've set out to do. You've made it clear. You know what you're going to do. You've got your plan. And having a plan makes us feel great about ourselves. Whenever we've got a plan, we feel like we're that bit more in control of the situation. And in the midst of an uncomfortable craving or difficult feeling or emotion, reading or writing is also an excellent way of dispelling it. When you get it out from your head and onto the paper, it really does make a difference. If you haven't tried it yet, I really would love to invite you to give that a go. And phone a friend. If you've got a supportive friend who's safe, who you can share with, pick up the phone to them, talk it out. Don't make it all about you. Listen as much as you talk, but phone a friend and have that connection. You'll often find that when you've talked to somebody, you'll find that those feelings have started to subside and you feel a lot better. You could even stamp your feet while you're on the phone with them, left, right, left, right. Tell them what you're doing. Maybe do it together. And if you've got a friend who's closer by, you could go for a walk with them. You can even go out and walk the dog if you've got a dog. That's an awesome way of getting rid of those feelings. So make sure you've got loads and loads of tactics lined up. And there's tons of them on my YouTube channel, plenty of other ones that I've shared to help ensure that you can manage cravings and get through those early difficult stages. But what I wanted to give you in this video was something that you can stick to day in, day out as a strong routine that you can use for yourself. And I also want to urge you to do something else. When you found that routine that is working, so it might be that you're journaling each day, you're writing down your fears, your resentments, your intentions, you're meditating in the morning, you're meditating in the evenings. I want you to stick to that. I don't want you to deviate. I don't want you to think, well, I feel strong now, so I'm going to start going to the pub again with my old friends. That'd be a good idea. It's not a good idea. Once you've found something that's working, stick to that routine. Don't divert from it. Don't invite toxic people back into your life. Don't put yourself in situations that are going to be a threat to your sobriety. Stick to what you're doing. You know that that's working for you, so don't deviate from it. Be firm with yourself. And again, you can set this in your daily intentions. Those daily intentions are incredibly powerful, and I want you to make the absolute most of them. So hopefully this gives you a real structure to how you can support yourself in your own sobriety. And also joining a program where you get tools, support, tactics is going to be an excellent way to help you really smash your sobriety. So join my program if you feel it'd be a good fit for you at joinbesober.com. I'd love to see you there. We have live video calls on Zoom in a group. We do Q&As throughout the week, and we've got an amazing community of people and a brilliant audio program that you can work your way through too. So check that out. But hopefully this gives you some tips for how to structure your day and how to get the very best out of your own sobriety.